TET Live begins in 3, 2, 1.
Hello viewers, as you just heard it, we just heard the beautiful music of Karthick Iyer. Now, when I just hear his music, the first thing that comes to mind are a bunch of names. Selva Ganesh, Shivamani, Zakir Hussain, maybe even Prasanna, the guitarist. Now, why is this? It's not because he sounds like them, it's not because he plays like them, but rather because he is now going to take their place as the messenger of Eastern music in our Western world. So today it's a great honor to have the beautiful band Karthick Iyer live with me. So I'm going to introduce these lovely gentlemen, starting with, on the bass, we got Reshwin Nishit. On the guitar, we got Vikram, Vivek Anand. And then on the mridangam, Mr. Sumesh Narayanan. And then on the drums, we have Ram Kumar. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the TT studios to share your art and for also accompanying this great man over here, Karthick Iyer. And we have so many questions, so many issues that we want to tackle. And why are we here? First and foremost, we have to definitely address that Ideal Hope, a great organization, has brought these great talented artists here to help us raise funds for issues back in Sri Lanka. They're going to be building homes, and we're going to be helping the poor. So there you can see music is helping the world. So now before we start, I wanted to ask you all, what is music to you? What is good music to you? Because now that question might seem ridiculous because, of course, they play good music, but there must be a source of it. So we'll start with Karthick.
Good music?
Yeah.
For me, music is something that comes from within. It's sort of it's a vehicle that carries one's emotions.
Right.
And if it comes from a place that's true, I think that's what construes good music. It's a very large definition, but I guess, you know, the gamut of the music we have, like world music, we could have an African drummer, we could have a Carnatic singer, or we could have someone from Brazil, we could have a jazz. So everything is music, but at the end of the day, what is common is that someone is trying to express something. And when they are true to their own feelings, I feel that music is good.
Very beautiful. Now, there's something interesting about music. Musicla notes irukku, aprom sounds. We have talam as well. And as a bassist, you'll be mixing both of those aspects. And as a mridangist, you'll be bringing the souls into what you do, and then there will be the taniyavartanams, and then you'd also be having like the funk riffs here and there. So what I wanted to talk about is the percussion in your team. Both of you gentlemen are providing, how do you say, an accompaniment. Now, I used to learn the mridangam as a child, and my master Ganapati, he told me that a mridangist's job is to accompany the soloist. But when I noticed your performances, I noticed that you were not accompanying, you were also competing. You were having a conversation. And please tell us, how do you find exactly what to respond when I say something, when one person says something? Because as you can see, there are no words, there are just notes. So how do you think on the spot like that?
Let's start with Ram.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, Ram's the drummer.
So how we see it is, while you're playing with another musician, it's about how you, accompany his melody or what the other musician is doing. You should complement what they are doing and not overdo what you're doing, and at the same time add a very nice color to what's already existing. So I wouldn't say competing, but then I would say give it a better color is what myself and Sumesh are doing in this band, is what I think. So what do you think, Sumesh?
No, precisely what Ram said. It's adding a color to what's already being played.
Wow.
Like for most of cases, we sit down to jam. We come up with new material. The melody kind of is already set. It so happens that the melody is more fluid and it's already set. So to be frank, my work and Ram's work is very very straightforward, just to add color and to, I wouldn't say keep it simple, but to kind of embellish what's already there.
What's already there.
But we do have situations where the percussion or the rhythm takes front seat, and then again it's a different color to that composition.
Right.
But then again nothing is competing. But
not competing. I
it's
guess I
not
hit a
competing.
nerve there.
It's just blending. Yeah, it's just blending. It's more of a conversation. It's more of a blend between. It's a perfect blend between both.
Now, what you seem to be speaking about has a lot to do with relationships. Like, I feel that if I'm saying something, you're going to say something that matches what I'm saying, and then you'll add to it, and that's how we build a conversation. And one thing I notice when I watch your videos is that you guys are always smiling, you're always interacting, they're joking around. How did you guys form together that chemistry, like, to start off with?
I think we just jam a lot. We just meet outside of the jam room a lot. I mean, we're friends as well as musicians who play together. And I think what we do, apart from what we do on stage and in the rehearsal studio, is what contributes to that camaraderie that you see. And it comes out in the music, it comes out in how we perform, how we present ourselves. And I think a lot of what is not musical is also important.
Very true. Very true. So, like, I think it's kind of like the Tao. They say you're defined by what is not. So when what you're doing outside of the music helps the music, actually. Absolutely. Yeah, very, very. So, okay, out of all of you guys, who's the joker? Who makes all the snide remarks and all that?
No, what is this?
Everyone plays a part?
It's equally split. And we all take turns being the victims also, except Karthik, that is. But
Karthik, that's a special treatment, huh?
Yeah. Actually, Reshwin might be able to answer that question.
Oh, please.
He's like the new entrant.
Yeah. So before you give your answer, I want to just introduce you're going to be the bassist for the team, right? Yes. So, man, that's like the heartbeat of the song, essentially, in both beats as well as the notes. So, now since you're the newcomer, do tell us about these guys and their shenanigans.
Be honest with me.
So I was, it was quite a surprise. Being called for the tour, actually. So it was. I was quite nervous. The first jam session. I'd already performed with Karthik, but then again with Vikram and the whole band together, it was quite nervous. The first session was just quite scary actually. I was all prepared and I was like, okay, I need to learn everything and go. But then it was completely different. I mean, I go inside and everyone's chilling out and
Really?
just like, it was very casual. I mean, I could gel in like, I think, the first jam session I was like set, okay, they're like very friendly. So it was quite fun jamming.
Okay, so you guys find the art through relaxation.
It happens together.
It happens together, right? Now that's a very interesting point because you guys are playing very serious music, Carnatic music, in a world that's very modern and changing. Like while we were setting up, you were talking about Pink Floyd. I've seen some of your stuff, like you've been using music from California. I've been hearing some of the music from the London Underground, Asian Underground as well. So you're showing us like different flavors of music and stuff like that. And that's very technical because when you look at it, it's not just about, you're just going through some theoremons as well. Like I was just seeing like the complexity. When you do something so complex, how do you have fun doing it? But anyways, before we get there, we've got to have a break.
TET Live begins in 3, 2, 1.
Anyways, so just before our break, I was asking a question to the team about how they're able to do in the serious sound of music with such a relaxed attitude. So, what's your secret? What's the secret sauce behind all this complexity? How do you keep it real? How do you keep it fun?
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு எங்கள் மியூசிக் ரொம்ப சீரியஸ்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. I'd like to correct that. சில சாங்ஸ் சீரியஸாக இருக்கும், சில சாங்ஸ் will be like happy songs, like say ரகுவம்ச சுதா, அது எடுத்தோம்னா இட்ஸ் அ கர்நாடிக் சாங். நம்மலாம் யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம் கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக்லாம் ரொம்ப சீரியஸாக தான் இருக்கும்னு, பட் that's not true. So it's a happy song, there's a song about love, there's a song about கிருஷ்ணர் வந்து என்ன லீலைகள் பண்ணாருன்னு அதை பற்றி ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கும். So it's not always something that's sad.
Wow, that's a very nice point because I was always thinking Carnatic is serious, but now it's actually very human. Now, you have Carnatic songs that are based on India's culture and all that. Do you have music that's based on Toronto?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is a song called At the Theatres.
Tell us about this.
2011 வந்து இங்கே ஹார்ட் ராக் கஃபே அண்ட் சில கன்னடா ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ஸுக்கு வாசிக்கிறதுக்காக had come with a group called Raghu Dixit Project.
Okay.
So வந்து டொராண்டோவில் வந்தோடனே I really fell in love with the whole the multicultural element in the city, the whole vibe. ஒரு 3 நாள் யார்க் யூனிவர்சிட்டிலையும் இருந்தேன் என் ஃப்ரெண்டோட. So just to see how everyone is. So I really fell into love with how the people were together, you know. Okay. It's not like one group is here, one. And the ஒரு விஷயம் I found in a lot of places in the world, but Toronto was very different. And for me, when I looked at it, it was a pleasant surprise.
Wow.
அண்டு எங்களை வந்து அந்த ஹார்ட் ராக் கஃபே பக்கத்துலேயே வந்து டண்டஸ் ஸ்கொயர்லேயே ஒரு ஹோட்டலில் தங்கியிருந்தேன். ஸோ அது ஒரு 4-5 days நான் வந்து அங்கே இங்கே சும்மா சுற்றிட்டே இருக்கும்போது தட் ஹோல் பிளேஸ், எஸ்பெஷலி த தியேட்டர் தட்ஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட் டு தட், அங்கே வந்து பில்லி எலியட் ஓடி இருந்தது. எனக்கு பார்க்கணுன்னு ரொம்ப ஆசை, பட் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் ஐ ஹேட் டு கேட்ச் அ ஃப்ளைட், ஐ குடன்ட் மேக் இட். So that whole scene was there in my mind.
Wow, okay.
So after 4-5 months திருப்பி வீட்டுக்கு போன அப்புறம் வந்து அட் த தியேட்டர்ஸ் ஒரு மெலடி நானும் விக்ரமும் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது லிரிக்ஸ் எழுதணும்னு ஒரு சூழ்நிலை வரும்போது சரி எதை பற்றி எழுதலாம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ட்ராமா பற்றி எழுதலாம் அப்படின்னு யோசிச்சோன்னே இந்த ஹோல் டண்டஸ் ஸ்கொயர் வந்து மனசுக்கு வந்தது. So the song is about a group of people. It's a bilingual in English and Tamil.
Wow, okay.
A group of people in a town. So that's in my mind. That's Dundas Square. Like everyone's coming onto the streets and everyone's coming to watch a play. And they're really getting engrossed in the play.
Okay.
And the play, when you move into the play, in the song, it moves to Tamil. ஸோ வந்து ஒரு ஆணும் பெண்ணும் ஒரு மோனோலாக் மாதிரி காதல் பற்றி ஒரு கேள்வி, ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் பற்றி ஒரு கேள்வி, ஒரு ஃபிலாசபிக்கலான ஒரு attitude all these questions. ஸோ இது சாங் முடியறது வந்து வாழ்க்கையே ஒரு நாடகம், மேலிருப்பன் ஒரு சாதனம், வாழ்ந்து பார்க்கும் நாம் நடிகர்கள் தான் அப்படின்னு வந்து ஒரு ஷேக்ஸ்பியரன் ஐடியாலஜி ஆஃப் ஆல் த வேர்ல்ட்ஸ் ஸ்டேஜ், men and women are merely actors, அந்த இதில் முடியறது. அண்ட் ஃபார் மீ the whole inspiration of the lyrics has come from Toronto.
Beautiful. So unga art has come from the West as well, and now that you've set the stage, why don't we hear it?
Sure.
Hey, I wanna tell you a story today about a play that blew me away. So many people flock to the streets to catch any bit of the action. Oh, it's so true. Hush, the stage is set, burning lights, looming sets, actors floating in, wearing new lives. ஆரம்பமே ஆரம்பமே இது காதல் கதையும் கேள்விக்குறி. பிரியும் இதயங்களின் தேதி குறி. காதல் மோகம் நீந்திய சோகம் ஓட்டம் ஓடலாமா? உண்மையின் தனிமை பெண்மையின் இனிமை மோதி கொள்ளலாமா? கொள்ளலாமா?
So that's the song which goes into another instrumental interlude.
Wow, that was so heart-touching. And
Thank you.
it's amazing that our daily events have inspired you to create such art. And now I want to talk about creation. Ipo, you're very, very, very talented people. You've mixed so many very complex, different art forms into something that's understandable, something that's fun, something that's enjoyable. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys create music? Yeppadi on the thought process?
So usually it begins with a melody that Karthik has normally written down at home. Then we just get together in the studio and we put our heads together, put our ideas together, see what happens, see what works, see what doesn't work.
Right.
And I think the cool thing is Karthik's approach to songwriting and my approach to songwriting and Ram's approach and Sumesh's approach is all very, very different.
Wow.
We all look at it from different points of view. And in the end, we come to a consensus and see what works. And then it takes a while before the song gets done. And then, because we have our agreements, we have our disagreements as to what works and what shouldn't work, and what, sometimes I push Karthik, to do things that he never thought he would do. And likewise, it happens to all of us.
Right.
So it's a fun process making a song. And that's how we write our songs.
That's amazing. And Ipa, I think your consensus is Indo-Soul. It's a new concept. And I've always seen this term, Indo-Soul. What is Indo-Soul? Please tell us.
Indo-Soul is அதில் ரெண்டு excuse me, ரெண்டு பார்ட் இண்டோ அண்ட் சோல்.
சரி.
லிட்ரலாக எடுத்துட்டோம்னா வந்து இண்டோ வந்து நம்ம இந்தியன் சிவிலைசேஷன், த ஹோல் ஹிஸ்டாரிக் மியூசிக்கல் கல்ச்சர், அதுலேருந்து வந்த மியூசிக் நம்ம கர்நாடக சங்கீதம், அது வந்து இண்டோ.
சரி.
அலாங் வித் த ஹோல் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் டாலரன்ஸ் தட் வி ஹேவ், யூனோ புது இப்போது இண்டோ சோலில் வந்து வி ஹேவ் வெஸ்டர்ன் மியூசிஷியன்ஸ். ஸோ there has to be a basic understanding and tolerance of different musical culture for a new genre to come. So adellame indo. Soul is nothing but soulful music. ஏன்னா இங்கே ஒன்ஸ் இந்த நிலா காய்கிறதுலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து யூடியூப்பில் பாட்டு போட எல்லாருமே நிறைய பேர் சோல்ஃபுல், என் மியூசிக் இஸ் சோல்ஃபுல்னு சொல்ல ஸோ we thought it should be a word as part of the genre. So that's what Indo soul is, literally.
Right.
ஆனால் இண்டோ சோலோட ஒரு பேசிக் ஐடியா ஆர் த மீனிங், த குவெஸ்ட் பிஹைண்ட் இண்டோ சோல் வந்து எப்படி இந்தியன் கிளாசிக்கல் மியூசிக்கும் ஒரு வெஸ்டர்ன் ஜானர், ராக், பாப், ஜாஸ் எது வேணா இருக்கலாம், அது எப்படி வந்து ஒரு ஃபண்டமெண்டல் லெவலுக்கு போயிட்டு ரெண்டுத்தையுமே எப்படி அதை சேர்க்க முடியும். ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து விக்ரம் சொன்ன மாதிரி டைம் ஆகணும். ஏன்னா நாங்கள் 4 பேர் ஒரு 4 வருஷமாக சேர்ந்து வாசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். கோர்ஸ் ரெஷ்வின் has joined us now and அவருக்கும் we are starting to get a working relationship with him as well. So once we meet, நம்மளோட personal relationship and musical relationship grow ஆக ஒரு sort of ஒரு understanding வரும். இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆல்பம் ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்குது, இப்போ நாங்கள் செகண்ட் ஆல்பம் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், அதில் ஆல்ரெடி சவுண்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமாக இருக்குது. ஸோ வித் டைம், வித் மீட்டிங் ஆஃப் மைண்ட்ஸ் பிட்வீன் மியூசிஷியன்ஸ் ரொம்ப முக்கியம் இண்டோ சோலுக்கு. ஸோ சும்மா வந்து ஒரு 4 பேர் சேர்ந்து ஸ்டேஜில் மீட் பண்ணிவிட்டு சரி நம்ம ஜாம் பண்ணலாம் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லை. ஸோ தட் இஸ் அ குவெஸ்ட் ஆஃப் இண்டோ சோல். அண்ட் எங்களோட ஆல்பம் இண்டோ சோல் லுக்கிங் வித் அண்ட் டு லுக் பியாண்ட் வந்து எங்களோட முதல் படி. ஸோ there's a lot more to explore. இது இந்தியன் மியூசிக்கும் வெஸ்டர்ன் ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் மியூசிக்கும் அதுக்குள்ளே இருக்கிற ஒரு கனெக்ஷன் பார்த்தோம்னா அது ஒரு பெரிய சமுத்திரம் மாதிரி. ஸோ basically we are all trying to reach out to that and there's so much potential to be explored.
Very nice. Now your expression is not just musical, audio, it's also very visual. I noticed that you guys dress so well. You have the best fashion that I've ever seen. Like for instance, you'll have like a nice you'll have like those beads over here, and then you'd have like the suspenders and all, and then you'll have like the, how do you say, like the full blown rock look with the shirt untucked and all that. Now, I'll be honest with you. In our Tamil culture, musicians don't know how to dress. But you guys are dressing so cool and so. Tell us who came up with the style ideas and who guides this vision? Because I really like your vest, by the way. It has like a very futuristic and traditional look, and I think the look is a very important part of your expression, no? So please tell us.
So one of the ideas that I sort of got whenever I was playing even with Raghu Dixit project even 4-5 years ago, that how the visual really matters. People come concert கேட்க வராங்க, but also it's all about how people present themselves and how what can you watch as an audience. So I always felt like we should have not a uniform but some kind of a theme on stage where something is interesting is happening. It's not like 5 பேர் ஒரு வேறு கலர் ஷர்ட் போட்டுட்டு ஒரு ஜீன்ஸ் போட்டு அந்த மாதிரி இல்லாமல் சம்திங் தட் ஹேஸ் ஒரு ஐடென்டிட்டி டு இண்டோ சோல் as well as சம்திங் தட் மேக்ஸ் us லுக் டுகெதர் ஆன் ஸ்டேஜ். ஸோ இந்த லான்ச்சில் வந்து நீங்கள் பார்த்த வீடியோலாம் எங்களோட லான்ச் வீடியோஸ் தான் இருக்கும். அதுக்கு வந்து we went to Swati. She runs a store called Bang Sarees. It's a line of sarees that she does, and she also works with people like us. So avangkitta poitu I told her what we are looking for, and she came up with the idea of whatever we did end up wearing in the launch.
Very cool.
So Swati designed the clothes, she made the designs and got it stitched for us.
So I'm getting a feel that Indo Soul is more like a cultural phenomenon. It's not just a musical thing, it's also a clothing thing. And who knows, do you guys have interest in like maybe turning this into a brand of some sort? Do you like to go beyond music with your culture?
It is a brand. Just to add, it's cultural, it's music, it's a lot of it is also collaboration, like what we've done with the costume. It's a brand, but at the moment there is so much to explore in music.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to have a break right now, so don't touch that dial. We'll be back.
TET Live begins in 3, 2, 1.
I'm very, very honored to be with these amazing artists. We can keep going for hours, but of course, we know why you're here. You want to hear the music. Now, they're far away from home, and they want to sing about missing their loved ones. So we have a song called Asai Mugam, and it's by Iyer, and I love their rendition of it. So here goes.
ஆசை முகம் மறந்து போச்சே இதை யாரிடம் சொல்வேனடி தோழி நேசம் மறப்பதில்லை நெஞ்சம் ஏனில் நினைவு முகம் மறக்கலாமோ ஆசை முகம் மறந்து போச்சே யாரிடம் சொல்வேனடி தோழி யாரிடம் சொல்வேனடி தோழி யாரிடம் சொல்வேனடி தோழி.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I was also wondering now, here you are singing songs by Bharadiyar, and then you're playing songs that are very sophisticated and then also original. Now, I wanted to know, do you have something to do with film music by any chance?
In the sense?
Have you ever played any film pieces with your violin?
Yes, I play for a lot of music directors in the South Indian film industry.
There's one in particular that I'm really, really interested in. It's the Kumki piece, of course.
Yes, yes.
So
that's
like,
for
when I heard it, it was so powerful in its Western aspects, and then it was so soulful in its Eastern aspects. So how was it working with Iman to come with that sound? How did that feel?
This was my first recording for Mr. Iman.
Wow.
And of course he's his melodies and his chord work and the harmonization that he does is just he just nailed it for that song. And it was a super experience working with him. I just went into the studio, he had the melody, he had everything ready, so he gave me the melody as to what I have to play. So I took down notes and I played it back again, and I had a good feeling when I was playing it, because the melody was so catchy, and it was very ethnic, grounded. Something that I really love about his music is that it's it's very grounded. It's got something that's very integral, earthy and integral about all his melodies. So yeah, it was a start of a lot of recordings that I did for him after Kumki.
And now you're doing ads, I heard. You've done some of your own That was from Britannia Biscuits or something like that?
Yes, so I was working together with a good friend of mine, Ram Prasad,
Right.
who's joining us later in the US to do live sound for us.
Very cool.
So we did Britannia, we did Sri Lakshmi Jewelry. So we did some ads together, and then after which he moved to the US. And I do like to compose music whenever a project comes up, something that I can relate to, and have a good relationship with the director. So
that's every musician's dream. And there's another dream that every musician has, and that's touring. Now, you guys are all not just going to be performing in Toronto, you're going all throughout North America. So I just want to hear from each one of you the coolest thing that you've ever experienced on tour, or the funniest or the weirdest thing that you've ever experienced whenever you tour or whenever you're at a show. Like, have you ever had a crazy fan, or have you had anything like that? Oh, we have to start with you, sir.
It's always fun when you're hanging out with your buddies, and at the same time, they're the musicians that you play with. You're part of the band, and you get to experience a lot of. Okay, we can't talk about most of them here, but then, yeah, it's a lot of hilarious moments that keep happening. Just before we came here to the shoot, we were having a random chat outside, and there were a lot of things happening. It just keeps happening. It's a part of the whole touring cycle.
What happened? Yeah, what happened?
NSFW.
And not safe for work. Okay.
yeah, I think I concur with what he says.
Wow. Now we're only more curious.
Can I do that also? But
please, you're making us very hungry for it.
Yeah, like what Ram said, what I'd like to add is, apart from being musicians and apart from being colleagues, fundamentally, we're also really good friends who, like to hang a lot and, hang out a lot and joke around and basically, so that's what we do. That's what Ram and I do, at least. So it's on stage and off stage is the same thing. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It sounds serious. You put bets?
It's very entertaining to, slightly just light off his fuse and then watch him go. And then he has his moments when I go, when I get provoked and all that.
Wow.
So these guys have a good laugh. So usually that's the case. But yeah, like he says, there's a lot of things that's happened that's not safe.
Okay, we'll keep the hush.
I'm really not looking forward to waking up to these same faces for an entire month.
Wow, 1 month, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're on tour till the 19th of August.
Who snores the loudest?
Ask me at the end of the month.
Ask at the end of the month.
Yeah, but then I think another experience that Ram and I have had when we went on tour to Vienna with another band.
Wow.
We ended up partying with John Bonham's sister.
Yeah. Whoa.
So that was an experience we never gonna forget.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
True rock stars, man. That's insane. How about you? The newcomer.
Yeah, so it's my first tour.
Congrats.
And up until now, I guess Vikram's the most interesting part
Really?
of the tour.
Okay, what makes Vikram so interesting?
That's why you opted to not sit next to him in the flight, is it?
Oh, really?
So,
I was next to the girls.
Hey, what happened on the flight?
So that, I guess you'd have to ask Sumesh. I mean, as soon as the flight started, I think from Amsterdam.
Yeah?
So Vikram gladly offered the window seat.
Oh, okay. Juicy.
So I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, what happened?
So Vikram here was assigned a corner seat.
Okay.
And I was assigned a middle seat, which, most of these flights have a 2-4-2 configuration.
Right.
So I was in the 4. I was like one of the middle seats in the 4. And our man here was allotted a right window seat.
Right.
So he quietly comes up to me just before, takeoff, and he's like, "Hey, you mind taking the corner seat, man?" And I'm like, I kind of read through what, it's like, big guy can't sit and all that. So I was like, fine, okay. And I'd like to, doze off on the window. So I was like, fine, I'll take the corner seat. So I go sit down, I put my seat buckle and all that. We're all sitting down, and 2 really good-looking girls come.
Oh. You guys were from Amsterdam too, right?
This was from Amsterdam.
Okay.
This was from Amsterdam.
Oh, they're from Toronto. Yeah, we have a good reputation.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, he had a good chat for 7 hours, my friend.
7 hours?
Yeah, that's Amsterdam to Toronto.
My gosh.
So I am here in my seat, narrowly missing one of the best experiences in my life. Looking at him, and he looks at me and is like, dude, I didn't even know. Don't give me that smirk. And I swear he knew every bit of it.
Wow. Chennai, this is very hard to achieve, actually, I would think.
So basically, apart from me, all the guys are single and very,
condolences,
very eligible. No, I'm very happy. But
okay,
I just want to let the viewers know because they're going to be coming for the concert.
Absolutely, hey, eye candy. And now that definitely shows us that you guys have fun. You guys always travel all over the place. You guys play very awesome music, and with all that, I wanted to ask something very personal to each person as well. As a musician, I always look for those moments in my life which are very musical. There are those touching moments, maybe where Amma will sing a lullaby or something that just we remember. Is there any moment in your life, especially in your childhood, where you always remember as a very touching moment musically for you? And yes, this is everyone has to give an answer. It can even have happened now. Are there any moments where you got emotional because of music?
Plenty of times.
Good.
To pick one moment as the defining moment is tough because we are professional music. We work in
every day.
Music day in and day out. Yes, of course, when we listen to some music that's special to us, obviously. But to pick one moment, it's not a very easy question.
I'll make it easier. Tell me a song that touches each of your hearts. What's a personal song that you'll always be like, yeah, that, or any, it could be any song.
So to answer your previous question, so the moment that I had was when, it's happened a couple of times. About an hour into our concert, we've actually had a crowd of 2,000 to 3,000 people sing back our songs.
Wow, that's touching.
So, I don't think anything reaffirms your choice in your life as a musician, other than moments like these.
Wow, that's very beautiful.
That's something that I would always take back.
My gosh, that is rare, and that is awesome. That's an amazing achievement. Congrats, guys. Any other moments?
Like Karthik said, it's very difficult for me to pick one, but I'd like to add something that, and I just like to say it. There have been a lot of moments and a lot of times when I felt, it's I don't know how to articulate that, but it's something like, I'm so happy that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And I don't see myself doing anything else, and it's always been very, very clear to me in that aspect.
Beautiful.
It's like, can I see myself in, I don't know, not playing the mridangam or not being a musician?
Right.
Has been very clear to me. I can never imagine not being a musician, at least in this life.
It's like finding your love in life.
Yeah, that's something that's very ecstatic in my opinion.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. How about for you guys? Any?
We as musicians just live for moments like these when we have played on a couple of tracks and somebody listens to our album and school la untu nammala thittina teacher la untu nammala paattu super ah irukku pa and paattu ohona vaasirka இந்த Facebook la share பண்ணி எங்களை tag பண்றதெல்லாம் untu அதெல்லாம் untu pride to the next level. So these are exactly the moments that we live for. We don't need anything more than this.
Beautiful.
That's about being a musician and doing what you love doing, and that's about it.
Wow. And how about Reshwan? Do you have any particular experiences where you were touched by music or where you feel that you were fulfilled?
Not exactly, but I guess in relation to all of them, I've started music quite late in my life. Maybe
Really?
5 years ago.
Wow.
So I'd never intended to take music up as a mainstream thing. I did it as a hobby. And within 5 years, getting to go on a tour is quite a big achievement for myself. And yes, it was quite the chilling moment when I was approached for this. So I'm happy. As things happen, it's more, I don't know how to, it just keeps increasing, this happiness. That there isn't a defined moment where I was the happiest, I guess.
My gosh. So this is what it feels like when you found your favorite job. And anyways, we will be returning back to these guys with their beautiful conversations right after these messages. Stay tuned.
TET Live begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, viewers. As you know, we're all here to celebrate the beautiful music of Karthick Iyer live. And as you heard from these great musicians, there's going to be a crazy show that's going to be happening on July 23rd. And if you want to get your tickets, you got to go to indosoul.eventbrite.ca. And what is there to expect? Well, that's what I'm going to ask these guys right now. So anyways, gentlemen, Markham Theatre, Toronto. What is this show going to bring for the viewers, for the listeners? What should we be looking forward to? So, what do you guys like to say?
The show as well as the whole tour is sort of a tribute to all our online listeners.
Wow.
A lot of people in North America as such who've been asking us, when are you going to come here? When can we listen to you live?
Amazing.
So that's where the whole seed of thought for having a tour, in place came from. Given that, it's a huge pleasure to be playing in Toronto and in the Flato Markham Theatre.
Nice.
We've heard so much about the theatre, and also for the people of Toronto, we want to showcase our album songs from Indo Soul, looking within to look beyond. So we're going to be showcasing songs from our album as well as some of our popular contemporary Carnatic numbers on which are really liked and popular on YouTube.
Amazing.
So a mixture of these songs along with our album songs is what we're going to be playing at Markham Theatre on 23rd.
Wow, wow, wow. And now, you're not just going to be performing yourselves, right? There are also going to be the local artists of Toronto. And what are your views about this? Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to be interesting?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We haven't met the singers. We've heard about some of them today during lunch. Ramananoda பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது சுமேஷ்க்கு தெரிஞ்சது one or two singers. And looks like we've already started performing together.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Oh,
me
okay.
and you.
Sorry, I was confused for a second. I thought you were talking about you and Sumesh.
So, நீங்களும் keyboard வாசிக்கிறீங்கல்ல. So, we already started working together. And so we're quite looking forward to, collaborating with the local talent here. And I hear you were telling me that you have some medleys of A.R. Rahman planned. So
exactly.
Yeah, look forward.
So yeah, you're going to hear some of the most famous film songs by A.R. Rahman with these amazing artists. So it's going to be intense. And now I also wanted to talk about why this show is happening. So this is being sponsored by Ideal Hope as well as the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce. So what we wanted to know is, how do you feel about serving the people of Sri Lanka, helping them with their infrastructure and their housing? How does it make you feel that this performance is going towards that end? Does it strike any chords with you? Does it inspire you in any way?
I think ever since we were young, we live in Chennai. So it's, considering the distances in the world, it's literally a stone's throw away. The whole strife that's been happening. So I think it's important whoever has been affected, whichever side they belong to. It's very important that people should have the basics in place, in terms of their shelter, in terms of their food. That's the basic decency that we are doing well in our lives. We have been lucky, in the families that we are born or in the places that we live in. So I think it's the least that we can do as people is to help people who are in need. And to do it through music is quite special, for us. It's about communicating emotion and there are a group of people who are going to buy tickets, the proceeds of which are going to go to the cause.
Beautiful.
They're going to come watch us play. So it's quite special that for us, it's quite special that we're going to be doing this through music. And of course, thanks to Ideal Hope and Canadian Tamil Congress for doing whatever they're doing to help the people who have been affected by this whole disaster.
That's amazing. So there you have it, folks. We have Karthick, Iyer live. These amazing, extraordinary gentlemen joined me today to share with you a little bit of a peek of what you're going to be seeing on July 23rd, 6 p.m. at the Markham Flato Theater. Be there, because you're going to see something really good. Okay, guys, now that we're done, we must play another song. So we'll see you guys shortly.
TET Live begins in 3, 2, 1.
So anyways, guys, before we are going to do this, I'd like to just, any parting words? Do you guys want to say anything to our audience viewers? Because they all have to come hungry and ready to have a great time at 6 p.m. at the Markham Flato Theater. So any words for our audiences before you start?
Just to say, we look forward to seeing you there, and there's a diverse audience here, Indian diaspora wise and outside. So whoever's watching, do come, spread the word to your friends and family. We'll be there on the 23rd of July at Flato Markham Theatre at 6 p.m. So yeah, we are ready. We look forward to. We can't wait.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's rock.